we will have the second and final public hearing of our proposed millage rates and proposed budget for fiscal year 2026.
St. Johns County Public Affairs Director Wayne Larson tells Liz Ryan about two important meetings today.
The county's proposed budget is over $1 billion. So if you have questions or comments about that, or about millage rates, meaning what your property tax bill will be, come to the meeting tonight. It's open to the public.
And if the public cannot attend, they are encouraged to watch it live on our streaming website or video on demand.
There's also a meeting with the Board of County Commissioners this morning. A very controversial issue will be taken up again.
An update to our impact fee schedule. This was presented to the board back on September 2nd, and it's returning for more discussion.
An impact fee is a one-time fee paid by developers to cover the cost of impact their new development will have on the community, such as roads and parks. Some of the county commissioners want that fee to be increased since it was last visited in 2018. There's likely to be lively debate about that one. And that won't be the only controversial agenda item. The hotly debated AgriHood development is back before the commissioners. This was required after the county refused to grant permission for the development to move forward, and a special magistrate ruled that decision to be an unfair burden on the developer.
Robertson Improvement Company's request to rezone about 2,700 acres to a planned unit development project. Another item that should be of interest to the public is the presentation of the first phase of proposals for the public-private partnership for the redevelopment of World Golf Hall of Fame. We put out an RFP, or a request for proposal, and the RFP was set up into two phases, with phase one for the concept of the proposed projects. The board will be reviewing the submittals and discussing it and what path they would like to take moving forward.
The meetings are in the County Auditorium on San Sebastian View.
This local news is a service of your hometown Toyota dealer, Beaver Toyota in St. Augustine, conveniently located off I-95 at exit 311.
In other news,
$152,000 seems like a lot, but they're completely irreplaceable.
it turns out rehabbing marble lions is more expensive than previously thought. At a recent meeting, City of St. Augustine Mayor Nancy Sykes-Klein extolled the virtues of the pair of lions that guard the west side of the bridge.
They are marble lions. They are the real deal. They are copies of the Medici lions. The conservators are Joe Siegel and Enzo Torcoletti, who we're very proud of in our community, incredible artists.
Grants Administration Coordinator Jacob Weber got the City Commission's permission to ask FDOT for a little bit more money than they asked for before to restore the lions.
As the city moved forward after the initial approval, prices came in higher than the estimated $100,000 for the required services. This new agreement only reflects a funding update that increases the total ask to $152,315. Everything else in the agreement remains the same as previously approved by the Commission.
The lions' brief disappearance won't happen until after Nights of Lights.
And the city is still required to move the lions after the Night of Lights and before January 31st, 2026, hold them off-site during FDOT's seawall improvement project, and then return them to their current location after the project is concluded or by December 31st, 2028.
Weber received full support from the board. For St. Augustine's Local Morning News, I'm Liz Ryan.
Florida Attorney General James Uthmeier has announced an emergency rule banning isolated and concentrated forms of the chemical compound 7-hydroxymetrazine, or 7-OH. The rule now in effect classifies the substance as a Schedule I controlled drug, putting it in the same category as heroin, LSD, and fentanyl analogs.
We did reschedule a drug called 7-OH. This is a very potent drug. We've identified some versions that are more than 13 times more potent than morphine. So we have rescheduled to make that a Category 1 scheduled drug. It is no longer allowed to be sold for commercial purposes here in the state. We don't want it on shelves in retail stores and gas stations next to candy and refreshments in the hands of kids. We've seen heightened hospitalizations. We've seen it take the lives of kids, and we've got to do everything we can to protect our children.
Under the emergency rule, it is now illegal in Florida to sell, possess, or distribute any isolated or concentrated form of 7-OH. Law enforcement can begin immediate enforcement, with Uthmeier emphasizing that lawmakers will determine the longer-term policy. And now you're up to date with St. Augustine's Local Morning News. I'm Rich Carroll.